Hi, it's Eugene, the taxi man again, and I want to tell you a story about a passenger who was just in my car. I want to set this phone down and roll down Lexington Avenue while I talk to you, okay? Alright, this is what happened. Now, I drive a taxi at night. So we don't get a lot of seminary students, nuns, and people like that in the cab. I mean, they get a lot of ordinary people. Maybe we get a few seminary students and nuns. I don't know. But thing is, okay, one of the kinds of places where when it's late and the streets are kind of tired and dead, and I just sit and hope for whatever comes out, would be a strip club. I'll tell you right out. I also sit at a couple of gay places that I sit at and wait, and a couple of strip places that I sometimes sit at and wait. It depends on, is there a long line of taxis there, or whatever. So, I'm waiting on this line, and I move up to the front of the line. And this young lady comes, she comes running out of the strip club. Now, she's a young lady. I'm sure she's, works there, or she's a dancer or something. She doesn't have a winter coat on her. It's cold right now in New York. And she runs into the cab. Like she was running away from something. And I didn't think much of it. And she got in the cab, and she says, "Take me to the Bronx." I turn the corner here, and I gotta go uptown. But okay, but where are we going? And it's like a long, long pause, and she's not telling me where in the Bronx she's going to. So anyhow, I say, I gotta pull over here, miss. And I need to know where we're going here. And she told me where we're going. And some obscure address that I don't remember that I've ever been there in all these years. Bronx, the Bronx has a lot of these little streets that not that long, and not a lot going on them. They're not highly populated, and they don't have a lot of business going on. So I put it into my Waze, into my cell phone that I'm talking to here, that you're seeing me from, and I pop it in, and it starts giving me instructions. I follow the instructions, and she's in the back, and I could see, I'm looking in the back mirror because I'm a little bit concerned about, well, what's up with this young lady here, and I could hear her. She sounds like she's sobbing, like she's crying and fighting it back, and she doesn't want to make a big scene. I don't say nothing. I don't say a damn thing. And when the GPS announced that we were at the location, I asked her, "Are we at the location?" And she asked me to pull up a little bit and pull up a little bit more. Now, this is often a signal that I'm going to get a runner. Or someone who's going to pop open the door and run backwards on me, run back. So, but I was feeling, I don't want to put myself in for sensitive New Age guy of the year, but I was saying to myself, if she can't pay me, she can't pay me, man. Something really bad happened in there. I could tell that she's not right. She's not all right. But she's sitting there, and she pulls out a 20, and she gives it to me. Now, the fare is like $40.80. She pulls out a 20, and she gives it to me. And I don't say anything. I take it. And then, in a minute, she's shuffling around in her pocketbook. And I say, "Miss, are you able to pay the rest? She says, I'm finding it. And she gives me $7, 7 single dollars. So I got a 20 and I got 7 singles. The fare is $40.80. Now, a lot of you guys, especially guys, you think all these young ladies that come out of a strip club loaded with cash. That isn't even true. But they have to turn in their money, you know, and they get paychecks. Did you know that? So if she didn't get a lot of tips, then she don't have a lot of money. And if the night was slow, as I think it was, she may not have really, you know, got any one-on-one situation even. But anyhow, she gives me the 7, and I you know, and then she's shuffling and kerfluffling, and she says something like, I have a problem here. So I said, Miss, she says, how much did I give you? I said, you gave me $27, miss. And she says, well, how much more do I got to give you? I says, well, the fare, you would be paid off the fare with $14 more, miss, but look, do you have any more money? And she don't say nothing. She says, I got a problem, she said. So I said, look, miss, you don't have to worry about this thing. You don't have it. I will happy if you pay me the whole thing, and if you can't pay me, I'm not angry at you, miss. I'm not angry at you. Don't worry. And I'm not going to yell and scream and call a cop or anything, okay? But she sits there for maybe another minute or two like she's trying to find the money. So I know, you know, this is not the typical fare beater, and strippers don't do that anyway. It's one of the reasons I sit out in a strip club late at night, because I don't like this stuff happening to me, of people just running out. And you figure, well, strippers, they do have money. You know, so she left. And I'm thinking about this, and I was thinking about, I met another, she was just a female passenger, and we had a long trip, and she was very friendly, and very talkative, and, you know, and not the usual thing where they're asking the taxi driver where he's from and all this stuff. She wanted to talk to me about her, which is cool, you know, so I'm listening. I'm doing more listening than talking in that other situation, which is fine. And she told me, you know, she has a kid, it was a hard time, and the man was no good, and whatever, and I don't know why, you know, so she was like feeling up against the wall one time, and one of her friends, and she was a nice, attractive young woman, even, you know, when I was talking to her, and one of her friends told her, you know, come with me to the such and such club, and I'll introduce you, and you start working. You know how to do moves, and you know what a lap dance is, and that's it. And so she told me, she says, you know, I went in there and says to take off all my clothes and be naked in front of all these men here looking at me and touching me and rubbing dollar bills on me. She said I just didn't like it. I just couldn't deal with it, and I didn't even stay to the end. I ran out, and that's what she told me. Not this lady, not tonight, but I'm saying it happens sometimes. She told me I just didn't. I couldn't do it, that's all. I guess I'm modest or old-fashioned or whatever. I couldn't do this thing, and I had to leave. And then I had another fare once, and she was also a young lady that wanted to talk to me. Happens once in a blue. They're usually, not that talkative woman traveling alone. But, I don't start talking with women that travel alone. They got to talk to me first. I don't talk to them unless they talk to me. And when they stop talking, I stop talking. Anyway, where was I with this thing? So she told me she had done, something similar, but she says that her friend told her that she makes really good money as a prostitute. And that she works in this place in Midtown Manhattan, where she says she sells sex. And she, usually she's telling her friend, she says, I usually don't leave the place with less than $1,000, and sometimes I leave the place with a lot more.